everybody! So today on Handmade, we are making one of the cutest crafts I have ever seen. A bunch of people have made this online, and as soon as I saw it, I was just like, I need this in my life, and I need to show all of you how to do it too. We are going to make a cactus pincushion. Here at HGTV, we love cactuses and we love cute craft supplies, so this combines both of them, and it is not hard to make. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is make a pattern. So grab a piece of cardstock and fold a little bit over in half, and you can cut that down so that you have a nice long piece with a fold down the middle. And this should be a little bit smaller than your flower pot, so you can just keep trimming it down until it's the right width. All right, when I open that up, it looks like it fits in the flower pot nicely. So you can now decide how tall you want your cactus to be, and then just cut a nice little curve. So I think that's looking good. You can put the flower pot to the side for now, and now we're gonna trace and cut this out of the green fabric 6 times. All right, so there are our 6 pieces. So we're just going to stack 2 of them on top of each other so that we end up with 3 sets of 2. And then for each one, we're going to sew up the side, around the top, and then down the other side, leaving the bottom open. I'm using a sewing machine for this, but you can also hand sew it if you don't have a sewing machine. And I put green thread in my sewing machine, but the thread ends up pretty hidden, so don't worry about that if you don't have any. So once you're done sewing all 3 of them, they should look something like this. Now, you might not have gotten them perfectly lined up. That's totally fine. Just grab some scissors and we're just going to trim all of the edges so that we're getting right up to our sewn line, making sure that we don't cut through any of the thread. So once all 3 of them are trimmed, you're just going to stack them right on top of each other, and we're going to sew right down the middle here, going through all 6 layers of felt. My sewing machine can just barely handle this, so you can always hand sew this if you feel more comfortable doing it that way. All right, so now you should have something that looks like this. You can see it's sewn right up the middle, and so when we open it up, it's starting to look like a little cactus. So grab some fiberfill, and a little bit at a time, we're going to stuff each of these sections from the bottom. And I would definitely recommend using a pencil to help get it in there. All right, so once you have all of those stuffed evenly, this is what it should look like. You can see how it's really starting to take shape and look like a cactus. So this next step is optional, but I think every cactus needs a flower. So I'm going to use this pink felt. I'm just gonna draw a little flower shape, cut it out, and then use embroidery thread to sew it onto the top of the cactus with a little bead right in the middle. So we're just gonna add one more detail to the cactus itself. Grab some white embroidery thread and cut a piece that's just a few inches long. Thread it through an embroidery needle, just like that. And then we're just going to go right through the edge of the cactus, hang on to one end and pull the other end all the way through and take off the needle. And then we're just going to tie a double knot so that it stays on there. And then we're just going to trim it so that we have these little tails hanging off, and these end up looking like cactus spikes. So we're just going to repeat that all over the cactus, and you can do them here in the middle too. It doesn't just have to be right on the edge. And with our last little spikes, that is it for the cactus itself. Look at how cute this is. I cannot get over it. The next thing we need to do is actually put it into our flower pot. So you're going to grab your flower pot. This is one that I painted a while ago. I think it is so cute, but you can decorate yours however you like. Place it upside down on your tan felt, and we're just going to trace around it. And then cut that out, cutting a little bit inside the line so that it fits in the inside of the flower pot. Next, you're going to grab a chunk of styrofoam and place that circle right on top and trace around it. And then we're just going to carve down the sides of the styrofoam with a craft knife until it fits inside our flower pot. This might get a little bit messy, so you might want to have a vacuum on hand, and if you have floral foam rather than styrofoam, that might be a little bit easier to work with. Alright, so I have squished my styrofoam piece down in here so tightly that I can't exactly get it out anymore, but that's totally fine. So we're just going to put this to the side for a minute, and before we get back to that, we need to sew the cactus onto our felt base. So I'm just going to cut a nice long piece of the green embroidery thread and thread it through our needle. And then on the other end, we're going to tie a knot. So now we're just going to center our cactus right on this circle, and then coming up from the bottom, take your needle and go through the tan felt and catch just a little bit of the bottom of the cactus. And then we're gonna go back down through the tan felt so that we're making a little stitch right there. And we're just going to repeat this all the way around. I like doing 3 stitches per segment of the cactus. I find that holds it in place really well. So once you're done, here is how it should look. You can see that that is nice and attached all the way around, and here is what it looks like from the bottom. So the final step is just to put some hot glue here on the styrofoam and then plop our cactus right on top. So there is our cactus pincushion. Have you ever seen anything so cute? Of course, now we need to actually fill it up with sewing pins. So you can just stick them right in there, and we're giving our cactus even more little spikes. So there we have it, a cactus pincushion. Honestly, even if you're not into sewing, this would still just make a really cute piece of home decor. You can make them in all different sizes, different colors. You can even try doing different cactus shapes. A bunch of people have also done this project, so there is tons of inspiration to be had out there, but this is my favorite. I think it turned out so well. So I would love to know, have you ever made anything similar? Is this a project that you think you would want to try? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.